Good evening and welcome to the CalSOAP Santa Barbara Consortium Virtual College Fair. We're so excited that you've joined us tonight to learn about these fantastic colleges and universities. Tonight's format is a webinar, so we can't see you or hear you as participants, but I know that our colleges and universities would love to hear from you. The best way to ask your questions is to use the Q&A, which you can find on your screen. Go ahead and type those questions to our presenters at any time. And if you do have a specific question for a specific school, please do mention the school in your question. Unfortunately, this is the end of this college fair, but you are very lucky in that we have recorded all of these sessions for you. So if there are schools that you missed, if there are schools that you want to go back and review, by all means do that. And you can do that by going to strivescan.com/CalSOAP. So now that my housekeeping is done, I want to get us to the true stars of tonight's show, our colleges and universities. Our first presenter is from the University of California, Riverside.
Awesome, thank you, Julie. I'll go ahead and share my screen. Awesome. All right, so welcome everyone. My name is Maria Flores. I am a freshman admissions counselor at the University of California, Riverside, and I am here to give you a quick overview about our university. So UCR is actually one of the most diverse UC campuses within the UC system. We have students from over 88 different countries attending our university, so you can imagine how diverse our campus is. If you're looking for a place to find people just like you with similar beliefs, this is the place for you. But just be aware that you will be exposed to learning new things and to seeing people that look a little bit different than you as well. So we're super, super diverse, and diversity is our #1 priority at our university. We also have over 150 different majors and minors at UCR for you to choose from. So of course, we have the popular majors like all the other universities have. So we have the biology, the sociology, the psychology, we have the English. But just like all the universities, we also have our unique majors that are unique to our university. So we have a BS plus MS track for our College of Engineering majors. So if you were looking to complete your bachelor's and your master's within a 5-year time frame, that is the possibility through our College of Engineering. So we have the BS plus MS pathway. You would complete your bachelor's in 4 years and your master's in just 1 year. So you can imagine how much time and money you're saving as opposed to completing your bachelor's taking 4 years, more or less, and then another 2 to 3 years to complete your master's. You could just get it out of the way within 5 years. We also have our entomology degree, which is unique to UC Riverside. So if you're interested in studying insects and bugs, all that stuff that I would never in a million years get near, it also has a BS plus MS option for entomology. So if you wanted to do, again, the bachelor's and the master's all together, we're actually ranked #2 in the world for research in entomology. We're also the only UC to offer a creative writing degree. And if you're interested in pursuing medicine after you graduate from UC Riverside, we actually have a School of Medicine at UCR. There are different pathways for our students that make it easier to be admitted into our School of Medicine. 2 of them I'll be talking about. It's the Thomas Hayter program and the Thomas Hayter Early Assurance program. They sound the same, but they're different. So the Thomas Hayter program, you apply after you graduate from UC Riverside. After you attend 6 consecutive quarters, you're considered a UCR alum. So you would apply to the Thomas Hayter through the Thomas Hayter program. That program reserves 24 seats for UCR students. So if you just graduated, you're competing with a cohort that just graduated from UCR. It could be 100, 150 students, depending, right? And they're gonna evaluate your application based on that pool. So it makes it, your chances of being admitted to the School of Medicine is higher as opposed to applying through the regular pathway where you get evaluated in a pool of 600 other applicants from other schools, from other states. So that's a Thomas Hayter program. The Thomas Hayter Early Assurance program is another program that counts towards the 24 seats that are currently reserved for UCR students. However, for the Early Assurance program, you would actually have to apply during your junior year of your high school, of your undergraduate school years at UC Riverside. So again, you would apply during your 3rd year for the Early Assurance program. The early assurance program now, get this, you still had to complete the major preparation courses needed for the School of Medicine. You still had to complete the GPA requirement, and it varies year to year according to the applicant pool. Again, it could be a 3.5, a 3.7. However, for the early assurance program, they are not looking for an MCAT. So you don't have to take the MCAT test if you're applying through the early assurance program during your third year. But because you don't need an MCAT, they're looking for a lot of extracurricular activity under your belt. So you have to have research, you have to have connections with professors, participate with the community. So all of that, you have to get started very early on so you can have it under your belt by the time your third year comes around. And last but not least, we are super, super generous with our financial aid packet. So if you're looking for money, you know where to find it. Come to UC Riverside and we will give you that money. In fact, 92% of our students receive some form of financial aid, and 76% of those students find their needs are being met based off that aid that they received. And without further ado, I will go ahead and hand it back to Julie.
Thank you so much. Our next presenter is from Scripps College.
Perfect. Thanks, Julie. So hi, everyone. My name is Sinaida Reyes. I'm the Assistant Director of Admission at Scripps College, and my pronouns are she, her, and hers. So a little bit about Scripps. We are a small liberal arts college, but we're also in the resources of the Claremont colleges. So I always like to describe this as a buy one, get four free situation. And I'll talk about that a little bit more. So what I'll really say is that it allows our students to have this small intimacy of knowing their faculty members, smaller classrooms, but also to being able to have the resources of a large institution. We were founded in 1926 by our founder, Ellen Browning Scripps. We are a women's college, but again, don't let that scare you. With the ability to be part of the Claremont colleges is as much of a women's college as you want to make it, while still reaping the benefits of attending a women's college. And we have about 1,000 students on our campus. So our average class size is 16 students, and our student to faculty ratio is 10-1. So it's definitely the kind of place where you're going to know your professor, and the professor might notice if you miss class. A little bit more about Scripps is that we are located in Southern California. So we're right in the city known as Claremont, which is known as the city of trees and PhD. So very much an academic setting where you might run into your classmates and your faculty and peers, but also not feeling like you know everyone that's at Scripps or in the Claremont colleges, but also still having the accessibility to go to like Mount Baldy for a hike, or Joshua Tree to go stargazing, or if you want to go to LA. I think it's just a great balance for our students who don't want to have exactly the city life all the time, but also still want the accessibility to go into the city or to go out into hikes or nature or anything like that. So it's about probably 35 miles from LA. So without traffic, maybe an hour, but that's not always the case in Southern California. But that's just a little bit more about its location in Southern California. Like I mentioned earlier, we are part of the Claremont colleges. So there are technically 7 schools. 2 of them are graduate schools and 5 are undergraduate. They're Claremont colleges. We are able to allow our students to share dining halls. They share classes, they share resources. So again, women's college, but it's a co-ed classroom experience. So still having that resource of a women's college like salary negotiation, because unfortunately we live in a society where there still is an issue. But again, being able to allow to take the advantage of the resources at FONA, CMC, Harvey Mudd, and Pitzer, and vice versa. And our students being able to take classes at the other Claremont colleges, and we share clubs as well. So again, small college feel, but resources of a large institution. More specifically with Scripps, we have a variety of very popular majors. We're not really known for one specific field. It's more of our students just have a genuine love of learning and are pursuing a variety of fields. So it's very common to see a student who's pursuing physics, but also dance. It's very much a place where our students have very much this idea of interdisciplinary learning. So seeing these academic subjects come together. So as you can see, the most popular majors, they really do range. And what I'll just highlight quickly is our core curriculum, which is a little confusing because a lot of us as admission officers use this phrasing. But what I'll say about Scripps and what it means for us is that it's a 3-semester sequence that is only reserved for Scripps students. And really the purpose of this class is to emphasize that our students' minds are a muscle and we want them to work that muscle. They'll be looking at different academic subjects in their first semester, then having it more of a focus, and then having an individual project or collaborative project where you go out into the community. Continuing on about that, kind of more about the women's college experience. Let's be completely honest, higher education wasn't exactly created for women. So to be in a space where it is dominated by marginalized gender identities is really empowering, to not feel like you need to constantly smile, to be told, oh, you look so much more better if you would smile, or hey, you're too ambitious, you're too loud. That's not really the case at Scripps. You just don't smile. That doesn't mean you're not a happy person. It just means you don't smile. Or you are a passionate person who has something to say and we want to hear it. And again, being able to allow our students to have this co-ed experience, but being also have the balance of the resources of a woman's college, the salary negotiation, opportunities for leadership, and allowing your students to not feel like they're falling into a specific type of expectation societal. We have traditions, we have a lot of them. I'll briefly just mention our graffiti wall, and you can see in this picture right here, it just shows the history of our war. You can see 1970 is to stop the war. Our students are not afraid to be activists and call out the world, the nation, or just the country, or just Scripps itself for the Claremont colleges. So you get to see the history through the graffiti wall, because every graduating class will actually make their mark on the graffiti wall, and they will all sign their name. And more now about admission and financial aid. We offer early decision 1, early decision 2, and regular decision, and then transfer applications as well. We are SAT and ACT optional. We voted to be SAT and ACT optional right before the pandemic had hit. We are committed to the holistic approach, so not one part of your application will weigh more than the other. And I think just what I would really like to emphasize too is the SAT, ACT optional is that we are truly optional. It's not like, oh, it would be better. It's like, no, if you don't want to take it or didn't take it, that's completely fine. We do meet 100% of demonstrated need for the submission of the CSS and the FAFSA, and we do reward merit scholarships that range from $15,000 to $28,000 and are renewable for the 4 years that you are at Scripps. So there's a good amount of financial aid for our students. And that's pretty much the gist of the Scripps information session. If you have any questions, please feel free to contact me. But I just want to thank you all for listening, and then I will go ahead and pass it off to Julie. Thanks, Julie.
Thank you. And just as a reminder, if you do have questions for any of our presenters, go ahead and drop those in the Q&A. So we'll leave Southern California and head to upstate New York and learn a little bit about Syracuse University.
Okay. Hi, everybody. My name is Janet Recchia, and I'm Assistant Director of Admissions of Syracuse University in the Southern California office. Syracuse University has 3 domestic centers across the United States, and we have a large center in Southern California in Los Angeles. And I'll talk a little bit more about that as we go along. I'm an alumni, married to an alumni, mom of an alumni. So as we say at Syracuse, I bleed the orange. My hope today is that you're going to learn about the Syracuse experience, our community and its resources, and really truly what it means to be orange, because orange is just not a color that we adopted in 1890. It is our lifestyle here. So we have more than 15,000 undergraduate students at Syracuse University. We are very bold, very passionate, and definitely committed. We were originated in 1870. We are a private, mid-sized, interdisciplinary university. We're located in Syracuse, New York, which is a central part of New York State. We're on a hill outside the city of Syracuse, which is a mid-sized city. We have a great college town right outside the main campus. We have an airport that's 20 minutes away, a train station that's 10 minutes away. And our campus is connected to the downtown area of the city of Syracuse by a bus called the Connective Corridor, because in the city of Syracuse, a lot of our students have internships, jobs, and also enjoy the culture there, the restaurants, as well as the entertainment. So at Syracuse, knowledge crowns those who seek it. We really mean that because we customize your education. We are truly interdisciplinary. We offer 200 majors and 100 minors in all courses and disciplines. Is all possible. For example, if you're an architecture student, and we have a wonderful architecture program, but you would also like to minor in real estate, that's all possible. If you're a fashion design student, would like to open up your own business someday, then you can get an additional minor in entrepreneurship. So it's a great fit for students who are looking for 2 different tracks, for students who are still exploring and deciding, because you could come in undecided, you can come in with a direct 1 major, you can come in with 2 major. Most of our students have more than 1 program of study at the university. It's either a major or minor or even 2. So we have numerous 25 rankings in a variety of disciplines throughout the university. As you see here on the right, it includes public affairs, drama, management, all housed in our 10 schools and colleges. So in our 10 schools and colleges, there is that option to come in directly into the major or to come in undecided. Anything with the orange asterisk is coming in undecided. We are renowned for our communication school. It's one of the top communication schools in the United States, the Newhouse School of Communications, as well as the Maxwell School of Public Policy. Actually, that is where Joseph Biden graduated from the College of Law. So we do have a lot of unique majors. We were the first university to have a sports analytics major. It's, so there's every one of these colleges is truly unique. So I don't like to single out one, but, definitely go out and check out these majors. So we have an additional 3 domestic centers. Like I told you, I work in Southern California. So we have New York City, Washington, D.C., and Los Angeles. And we have 5 study abroad programs: Florence, Madrid, Spain, London, England, Strasbourg, France, and Santiago, Chile, as well as global partners in 60 countries. We have over 100 programs. So you can definitely go abroad. 50% plus students go abroad because we own and we operate our own centers. We have undergraduate students going to all the centers and the domestic centers as well, doing internships. You could even participate not only in going abroad, but there's D1 sports with 7 men's and 11 women's teams. There's 300 plus student clubs and organizations, and you can put your theory and leadership skills into practice. We are truly a diverse university, since 170 countries and 50 states call this university home. So living at SU, you have 21 residence halls, 21 places to eat, vegan, kosher, halal, 4 campus groceries, 12 fitness centers. There's so much to do on campus. Becoming Orange, we are a common application school. We have 2 deadlines. We have November 15th, early decision, and January 1st. Going forward, we will be test optional, and we are truly that, test optional. We do offer interviews to our students. We do meet full need. $282 million was given to students last year in various forms of needs. Merit scholarships are given at the time of acceptance, and we go from $10,000 all the way up to full tuition scholarships. So I'm going to drop my information in the chat, and I am going to stop sharing, and I'm going to give it back to Julie right now. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Janet. Oh my gosh, have we not been on Zoom for a year? Next presenter is from Florida Southern College. Anna, take it away.
Thank you so much. My name is Anna Hopkins. I serve as one of our assistant directors of admission at Florida Southern. Let me start my timer so I don't talk too much. Okay, so Florida Southern is located in Lakeland, Florida, right between Tampa and Orlando. So really fantastic central location. The campus itself is a small private liberal arts college. We've got about 3,500 students on campus. So average class size is about 18, 13 to 1 student faculty ratio. You very much have that one-on-one interaction with your professors and your classmates. We have over 70 different programs of study stemming from our 5 different colleges. Our business program is our largest. We hold an accreditation that puts us in the top 5% of programs nationwide. We offer a direct entry nursing program, a brand new doctorate of physical therapy. We are the top ranked private education program in the state of Florida. And then we have our School of Arts and Sciences. So biology, marine biology, chemistry, the fine arts, computer science, communication, psychology. There are a lot of different opportunities for students to study at Florida Southern. And about half of our students do choose to double major. So for students who have a lot of different interests and a lot of different passions, you can really make your education your own. Academically speaking, we have a very hands-on approach to education. So we've been nationally recognized for our commitment to engaged learning. So what that means is that rather than sitting in the classroom and being lectured by your professors, our students are active participants in their education. So that might look like our biology students doing antibiotic research their first year. It might look like our political science and psychology students presenting at conferences nationally each year. Ultimately, we want to make sure our students are engaged in their education and they're learning by doing. So 100% of our students have some sort of high impact experience. And all of our classes are taught by professors. So there are no grad assistants, there are no teaching assistants. You know, when you're coming into the classroom, you are being taught by absolute experts within their field. Another thing to note about the education you'd be receiving at Florida Southern are our 3 guarantees. So we do guarantee all of our students an opportunity to study abroad. It's actually built into your tuition. So a lot of our trips come at little or no additional cost to students. We guarantee all students an opportunity to do an internship. We're centrally located, again, between Tampa and Orlando. We have a lot of different partnerships, both locally and even nationally, internationally, for students to intern. And then we guarantee you'll graduate in 4 years. So we want to make sure that you're getting your 4-year degree in that projected time period, and you're not stuck taking additional semesters, additional classes, and then you're in and out in that 4-year time period. So why do we do this? Ultimately, we want to make sure our students are successful. We want them to go on to find a job, do research, do grad school, whatever that next step might look like for them. About 97% of our graduates are either employed or in grad school within about 6 months to a year after graduation. So this is just a quick little snapshot of where some of our students have gone in the past. We are a residential campus community. So in addition to our 3 guarantees, we also guarantee housing for all 4 years. It is definitely something that makes Florida Southern a family, a home away from home. About 40% of our students do come from out of state and internationally. So there are fantastic opportunities to meet people from all across the United States and all across the world. We have a number of residence halls, apartment complexes. 100% of our students are involved on campus. So it is a very active campus community, 160 clubs and organizations, Division II athletics, intramural sports, club sports. There's a little bit of something for everyone. So the application process is relatively painless. It is free to apply, and we accept an application through our website, the Common App, or the Coalition app. We want to see your transcripts, a personal statement. We are test optional this year, next year, and then likely going forward. The letter of recommendation is optional because of COVID, but I definitely recommend submitting one if you can. And then at the bottom, you can see our admitted student profile. If you're wondering about whether or not to submit a test optional or test considered application, I will drop the contact information for the California counselor after I'm done talking. We recommend, if you fall within the SAT, ACT averages or above, to submit test scores, but we can, as your admissions counselors, walk you through that process. We'll also walk you through the financial aid process. You're automatically considered for merit scholarship with an application. Those range from $7,000 to $21,000 a year, and we are a scholarship stacking school. So if you're awarded outside aid, need-based aid, aid through your major, ROTC, anything like that, it does stack on top of your merit aid. And then we have 4 prestige scholarships, which could earn you up to a full ride to Florida Southern. Those do have some additional deadlines, so you'll want to make sure that you apply before the November 15th deadline, so you can apply for additional scholarship opportunities. We are open for campus tours. So if you find yourself in the Central Florida area, come visit us. We do have both in-person as well as, of course, online offerings. And we would love to have you on campus to learn more about Florida Southern. Thank you guys so much.
Thank you, Anna. Our next presenter is from Emmanuel College.
Perfect. Thank you, Julie. All right, so hi everyone, my name's Emily. I'm one of the Senior Assistant Directors of Admissions here at Emmanuel College. Thank you for joining us today. So to kind of give you a brief glance at Emmanuel College, so we are located in Boston, Massachusetts. Now we're not next to Boston, we're not on the outskirts of Boston, we are right in the city. We are down the street from Fenway Park where the Boston Red Sox play. We're also in the Longwood Medical area. So we are directly inside the city, and that really comes into play with internships, career opportunities, and things like that. And we'll get into that a little bit. And of course, some fun extracurricular activities too. So we are a small liberal arts college. We're 1,900 undergraduate students. So students are really able to get to know their professors and their peers, and they're really able to, get that individualized attention. There's no major lecture halls on campus. You're not going to be competing with 500, 600 students in a classroom. You're going to get that individualized experience. So as I mentioned, we are liberal arts and sciences. So we have 5 academic schools that you can see on your screen now. The only school that you apply directly into is our nursing program. Otherwise, you have until March of your sophomore year to officially declare your major. So you can certainly come in with the idea of majoring in philosophy or business or psychology or communications, but you can definitely take some time, take some classes here and there, and decide what your true path is. And so going off of that, we have about 70 areas of study, majors, minors, and certificate programs, so plenty to choose from. Another great part of Emmanuel is that we're part of a consortium called the Colleges of the Fenway. So this consortium consists of Emmanuel College, Simmons University, Massachusetts College of Art and Design, Massachusetts College of Pharmacy and Health Sciences, and Wentworth Institute of Technology. So what this means is that students at any one of those 5 schools are able to take classes, join extracurricular activities, use their facilities at any of those 5 schools. So you can be an Emmanuel student, walk over to Simmons and take a course in psychology. We can have a mass art student come over to us and take a break from their art school and maybe take a business course with us. So it's a really nice partnership that we've had for a little over 20 years. And of course, the extracurricular activities that they offer too, whether it is a club sport or just an event that occurs annually, like our block party we have each year to welcome back the semester, you're really able to get to know those other schools. We are a residential campus in Boston, so we offer housing to students all 4 years. So it's not a situation where you're a junior or a senior and you have to find housing elsewhere. It's really nice that students have housing right in the city of Boston, and we do have a brand new apartment building on campus, so students get that experience of living in an apartment skyscraper in Boston without paying that Boston rent. So as I mentioned, every student completes an internship, and that's where Boston comes into play. So students are able to walk to their internships. And so regardless of your major, you're going to be completing some sort of internship, whether that is your clinicals as a nursing student, or it's your student teaching hours, or you're working at Fidelity Investments or Fenway Park. So it's a wide variety of internships you're able to complete. And like I said, every student does complete that during their time. So you can see a small list on the side. We have a great career center on campus as well that assists students in finding these internships and really helping students along the way, whether it is applying to internships with a resume or interview skills, or you come back 5 years later and you're looking for a different job, a new job, they're able to assist you with that as well. So to move forward to our student activities, so we talked about it a little bit with our Colleges of the Fenway Consortium, but right here on Emmanuel's campus, we have 100 clubs and organizations that are offered, from academic clubs. So I think every major has some sort of club on campus, whether it's a business club or a psychology club, sociology club. I could keep going. And then of course we have ukulele club and our a cappella groups, and we have Black Student Union. We have groups for our LGBTQ+ community. So there's really something for everyone. I always say if you're bored at Emmanuel, you're doing something wrong, because you can either get together with your classmates on campus or go off campus and enjoy all of Boston. So to briefly go over our requirements to apply. So we are on the Common App and it is free to apply. We do look for an essay on that Common App, as well as your transcripts from all of your high schools, 2 letters of recommendation, one being from a school counselor, the other being from an academic teacher. What I will say as well, and it kind of goes along with the theme of everybody else, but we are test optional, and we've been test optional for a couple of years now, actually several years, I want to say about 7 years or so. So we did go optional in the pandemic for our nursing students. So if you are thinking of applying to nursing, let me know. I'm happy to go over that with you, but we will require tests of nursing, but otherwise you have the choice to submit them or not. And then, of course, we always encourage interviews and, of course, encourage you to come visit. So we are open for on-campus tours. We will be open over the summer. So again, if you are in the Boston area, feel free to stop by. We're happy to have you. Boston is slowly opening up as the end of this month. So we are really looking forward to having our students back on campus. Check us out on our website as well for a virtual tour. But if you have any questions, please let me know. And thanks for your time.
And the Sox are winning, and the Bruins are tied with the Capitals. So
That's right,
that's all you
that's
need to know while you were presenting.
Absolutely.
Rock on. And our last presenter tonight is from CSU Maritime Academy.
Hi, everyone. My name is Andrea Sendejas. I'm the Southern California Enrollment Counselor for Cal Maritime. So we are located in the Bay Area, nestled between Berkeley and Sacramento, right off the Calkinas Bridge here. We are the smallest California state university in the system, but we are still part of the CSU. Smallest, best dressed, we are the only California state university where you wear uniforms, and it's out of the tradition of being a maritime academy. So being a maritime academy, being a Cal State, means that we are applying both the industry-specific education of the maritime academy and giving you all of the backing, all of the support of the California State University system. So our average class size is 18. We have about 1,000 students currently enrolled, and all of our majors are going to be very industry specific, very hands-on, and very specialized to the different types of learning and aid that you're going to have in those career fields. So we have excellent job opportunities, very unique niche programs, and I'll get to that in the next part here. We have a total of 7 programs altogether, and you can take a look here with the QR code more specifically into each program. Excuse me, but you can see that we are very small but mighty. All of our programs are very tailored to the different industry specifics. Our international business degree focuses on logistics, not only how things get made, how to manage them when they're made, and how to get them to you, the consumer, as soon as possible. Our global studies is kind of a catch-all for international relations as well as policy. So if you're someone who's interested in maybe going on to work for the FBI, CIA, maybe some law enforcement or your local environmental policy programs, this is a really good jump off point for that. Oceanography is our most science-based program in all of our campus. You actually will have the opportunity to go out in the Bay and gather your own research, run your own data model. So it's actually very computer-based. Facilities and marine engineering technology is systems engineering. And so what's really unique about engineering technology versus engineering is you're going to be working more within the systems, a little less math, a little less theory, and more hands-on. So facilities means that you're working within any type of building, whether it's something like Dodger Stadium or a huge Kaiser Permanente Hospital, or a huge Marriott, something like if you're local to the SoCal area, something like Raging Waters, all of that is facilities engineering. For marine engineering technology, it's the same idea, but it's systems engineering on board ships. And that'll come into play for the next majors. Our mechanical engineering program is the same top level ME program that you're going to get from any other Cal State. The only difference is that on our campus, you'll have access to a 500-foot training ship with 2 diesel engines. So it doesn't get more hands-on than that. For marine transportation, that's kind of our crown jewel here. It's how to navigate ships, and you're going to learn all types of ships and all types of water. We're going to help you not only get your degree, but get you licensed by the Coast Guard. So just like you need a license from the DMV to drive your car, you need a license from the Coast Guard to navigate a ship. And that's what we're teaching you here at Cal Maritime. We're helping you with the degree and we're helping you with the licensing. So when you graduate, you'll be able to graduate with that licensing as well. You're not joining the military. It's just a licensing board. And the uniforms is out of the tradition and the structure of the maritime industry, but we are not a military school. There's no military requirement to any of our programs. So all of our students are considered cadets. Just like a work uniform, if you work at McDonald's from 8 to 5, you're gonna have to wear, black slacks with a button up and an M on your hat. For us, it's gonna be khaki pants, khaki shirt with a Cal Maritime logo on your cap. And it's just gonna be during what we would call your office hours. And then we have also 3 different types of leadership on our campus. Within the Corps of Cadet, you can do leadership. There's also our associate students and our resident housing officers, or otherwise known as RAs, resident advisors. And for any student, when you're going into a campus environment, and you're going to live on campus, that's going to be the most expensive part of living anywhere on campus. It's going to be room and board. And for our students, you do get a stipend if you're chosen for the RHO position after your first semester here at Maritime. Campus life for NAIA Division II. We have everything from rugby to a volleyball club, as well as swim and water polo. You can go ahead and check on that link for our most in-depth for our athletic website. You can also sign up to have a coach reach out to you if there's a sport on here that you're interested in. All of our students travel internationally, so no matter what major you choose at Maritime, there will be an international travel component for global studies, business, and oceanography. You will travel during your sophomore summer for about 4 weeks, and the trips depend on where the faculty are going, what the climate in those areas are. We have students who have gone to Spain, Vietnam, Greece, Portugal, China, Tokyo. So you do have an opportunity to get, it's like a 50% educational, 50% touristy experience. And so the 50% that's educational for business, it means attending a business symposium. For global studies, it means attending an international relations symposium, or maybe going to a port and talking about how international politics and policies affect these different countries. So all of that is within the scope of the travel. Here is how to get into our admissions program. Please go ahead and click on that link for your A through Gs and our general admissions requirements. This year, we are going to have test optional as the rest of the CSU. And that's all I have for you today, excuse me. I'm a little sick, but if you would like more information, please visit our website, and I'm gonna add my contact list onto our chat there so you can reach out and say hello.
Outstanding. Thank you so much. At this point, I would love to have all of our presenters turn their cameras and their microphones back on. We're going to give you a little value added to tonight's presentations, and I would love to go a little round robin here. We'll go in the same order that y'all presented, but I would love to hear if you have a piece of advice you would like to share with these students who are starting their college search. So we will start with Maria.
Yeah, so I always tell students, don't be afraid to ask for help. I know myself, when I was a student, I was afraid to reach out to college admissions representatives because I thought they were scary and not approachable. But being in this position now, I see that we're all humans and we have all gone through what you're going through. You don't have to know it all, by no means. That's what we're here for. So don't ever be afraid to ask questions. No question is a dumb question.
Absolutely true. Zenaida.
I would say don't limit yourself. You'd be surprised what you might like. Go look at a state, look at schools you might not expect, and just because you haven't heard of a school doesn't mean that it's not a good school. And just make sure you apply to schools that you would actually want to get into rather than just checking off a box.
Janet?
And I'll piggyback on that. It's all about the fit. Trying to find, explore out of your comfort zone, because there's going to be some schools that might become closer to your fit. And always try to keep organized, because it can be a little daunting, and reach out to your admissions counselor. If there's any questions, they're there to help you. Don't try to figure it out on your own. They'll be there to help you.
Anna?
100% what everybody just said. I will add kind of an organizational tip. We send so much information through email, information about deadlines, scholarships, everything. So if it helps, make an email special for college information, check it regularly. It always kills me a little bit when I see a student who is eligible for a full ride scholarship but missed the deadline because they didn't get the email. And yeah, communicate with us. They pay us to help, so let us know what we can do.
Emily?
I would say, as you get your applications ready, definitely have someone look it over. It's okay to have someone proofread. We prefer that you proofread your essay, your Common App, whatever you're applying with. Just have someone read it over, because I think even us as professionals, we all have had people proofread our emails and our papers that we've written. So that's my biggest piece of advice.
Oosh. And Andrea, bring us home.
I definitely would recommend that you kind of do a priority list for yourself and see what's important. You know, sometimes we all love name brands, but that brand might not fit you specifically. So making sure that you have your priority set. There's a lot of wonderful colleges all over the U.S. that you can go to and will fit you, you know, more kind of inside of what you really want to do. Because at the end of the day, we all provide really great degrees, but really it's going to be your experience that's going to make it for you. So making sure that you know what your fit is and what sounds right to you, that's going to be the best for you.
Absolutely. Thank you all. That was all great information. And I know as the mom of someone who just finished his freshman year, you know, certainly you have all been such great helps to all of these students in the process and continue to do that good work. So thank you again for joining us. For the students who are participating in tonight's presentation, know that when you click out of this session, there will be a very short 4-question survey that pops up on your screen. Please take just a few seconds, answer those questions so that we can continue to offer some great programming, not just for you, but for the students of the future. Unfortunately, there are no more sessions to sign up for. There is one block still of schools if you want to hop into that. But if you just want to go back and review some of the information we shared tonight, or certainly check out some schools that maybe you missed, you can do that very easily at strivescan.com/CalSOAP. So on behalf of the consortium and on behalf of StriveScan and all these great schools, thank you so much for joining us. Have a great evening.